Greetings, Commanders, and welcome back to the Deep Space Carrier series here on Elite Dangerous. We're continuing to work our way towards Colonia in our maiden voyage for our fleet carrier. Part of the reason we joined fleet carrier is we are able to bring a bunch of ships with us. So this week we're going to be taking the Imperial Eagle out on our excursions to do our exobiology-related activities. Let's hop into the galaxy map here. Let's see. I don't even remember. What is the jump distance for this ship? I think all of my ships have at least a 30, or yeah, right around a 30 light year jump distance. So should be able to get a fair amount of distance with a minimum number of jumps with this. Let's go to this first edge over here and see how many jumps it's going to take us to do that. 16 jumps. I ran into a problem last time where I did too many jumps. I went too far away. So I think I don't want to go any further than 10 jumps away from the carrier because, yeah, that's probably better. Because what ends up happening is I end up, 15, 20 jumps away, and it's like, now I got to figure out getting back as quick as possible. Before we get too far in the video, I'd like to ask you to help us reach 10,000 subscribers by hitting that subscribe button, join the channel, or hit the subscribe button, hit the like button to. I just ended my live stream, so I have a different thing in my head. I gotta get this all figured out. New ships, new pips. Oh, does this have a fuel scoop on it? I better make sure I had a fuel scoop. I'm pretty sure I did. Okay. Ooh, that would have been horrible. This ship isn't as fast as our last one. Anyways, my beginning of the video spiel is supposed to be help us reach 10,000 subscribers by subscribing, hit the like button to spread the video out to more people, and then when you're done watching this video, or if you get bored with this one, head over to the channel, and we have more than 1,600 other videos on the channel organized in a nice, neat little playlist to make it easy for you to find whatever it is you're looking for. I play a bunch of different stuff. I have Baldur's Gate, all different kinds of stuff, so just head over to the channel and see if there's anything else over there, if the whole space thing isn't your jam. Alright, so exobiology-related activities, we're going to be looking for, exploration activities focused primarily... Oh. Yet again, I have forgotten to do basic things. Let's see, I need the Discovery Scanner. Oh, did I not put... This is the second week in a row that I've done that. This is the second week in a row that I've left without a freaking surface scanner. Damn it. I gotta do this again. Alright, fine. We're gonna have to go. This is the second week in a row that I've done this. I don't know, but maybe it'll be a good thing because in the last week when I think it was last week. I think last week when we had that issue, I ended up finding 2 Stratum Tectonicus first footfalls within 2 episodes of each other. So maybe this will be a tradition. I forget to put the thing on. We jump on, do another jump back, and then. Whatever. The thing is that I go through at the end of the week and I strip everything off of the previous ship, all of the optional models off of the previous ship, just to, make sure that I have access to everything. And then I forgot to put the surface scanner or the surface scanner on there. So I was like, whatever. Fine. It doesn't take that long to go back, and we do have the Super Cruise Overdrive on this ship, so. Oops, I let go of that too early. We do have the Super Cruise Overdrive on this ship. I didn't have it last week with our Orca. So it's kind of a trade. I mean, I guess it's not much of a trade-off, but we had the Super Cruise Overdrive. We didn't have the Super Cruise Overdrive on the Orca, but the top speed of that ship is 630 meters per second with the engineering that I've done on it. So it's clearly not going to make up for being able to boost off of a planet with the Overdrive, but at the same time, 400 and something meters per second versus 630 meters per second. It took us a little while longer than I'm used to have to get away from the carrier. I'm like, I don't know if I like that. But it also is like one of the smallest ships. So ideally, landing on planets and things like that are going to be much easier than we just had to put up with for the Orca. Now, fortunately, for the week that we were flying around in the Orca, we didn't really come across too much rough terrain, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But it's always nice to have something smaller. Now, the issue that we're going to run in here is that we did 2 jumps and we're completely out of fuel, so we can't afford to run into more than... Oh. We can't afford to go. We can't afford to not hit fuel stars.
Permission granted. Please approach your designated landing pad.
Here, I forgot to do everything that I needed to do to land here. So,
landing gear deployed.
The silhouette for this reminds me of the Romulan bird of prey from the original series in Star Trek. Alright.
Contact confirmed. Cleared to disembark.
Go down to outfitting. We'll put our surface scanner on. And then, so we have to be really careful. I think as much as I don't want to, I think I'm going to have to, for this week, update our galaxy map to only go to fuel scoopable stars, because we can't do more than one jump without fuel. Like, we can't afford it. All right, so I am looking for my surface scanner. I want the one with the biggest radius increase. It's this guy here. Okay. All right, let's make sure we have everything. The fuel scoop with the frameshift drive booster, the bi-weave shield generator. I generally try to run with at least one cargo rack, but I don't have the size cargo rack I need to do that. So unfortunately this week we're not going to do that. So I do believe that that's everything. I always run with a shield, because the last thing I want to do is die because I didn't have a shield on. So I always run with a shield. Like, I know there's combat builds where you can do armor only, and if I was doing combat, I might look at those, but if I'm just doing general exploration, I always run with a shield. All right, let's go ahead and get our fire groups set up. Surface scanner will be number 2 for this. And then as I know it's going to limit our opportunities to find things, but I don't want to run out of fuel. That's going to suck if that happens. So we're going to go ahead, head into the thing here. We're going to toggle everything off, and we're just going to go do the OBG foam. And that's all we're going to... As much as that sucks, this is what we're going to do. Okay, so... Does it... I'm not confident that that updated the way I wanted it to, so we're just going to go ahead and looks like our destination was... No. Okay, let's zoom in here then. I generally try to be a little bit better prepared. Nope, 17, that's too many. Let's go to this one. Maybe this will be enough. 13's good enough. All right. Hopefully, now we can get started and actually start doing some exploration. Whatever. I don't know. All right.
Ship released. You are clear to leave.
All right, I'm just going to go straight away from the carrier so that hopefully we can hurry up and get out of mass lock state. I have a feeling that fuel scooping in this thing is going to suck. It's going to suck bad. But I'm hoping that because the fuel tank is so small, that it won't... I'm hoping that because the fuel tank is so small, it won't make that big of a difference. Like, because the smaller fuel scoop will be in conjunction with the smaller fuel tank, and it still won't take us that long to get through a fuel scooping. But I've been finding on the smaller ships that because the fuel scoops are so much smaller, that we end up having issues. You're not supposed... I really hate it when my filters don't actually apply to the route. I could have swore it said that I had it. I could have swore I had it said that it applied to the route. Oh. Okay.
Frameshift drive charging.
All right, I'm pretty sure we can I'm pretty sure we can fuel scoop off of a white star. Class F, OBG foam. Yeah, we can fuel scoop off of an F star, F class star. Yeah, we have to be careful with this one. I can't afford, and that sucks because I'm a space cadet, man. Like, seriously, I can't afford to space out and forget to make sure that we're going to fuel scoopable stars, because if we do a bunch of exploration and then we have to self-destruct because I don't have fuel, that's gonna suck. So I have to try to remember to be super careful this entire time to make sure that we don't run out of fuel, because I can't afford to run out of fuel. That's gonna suck. We just can't do it. It seems like it is scooping pretty decently. So, and the small fuel tank is both a blessing and a curse. It means we can't do a bunch of jumps without fuel scooping, but it also means that fuel scooping is going to go relatively quickly because it's a small tank and we don't need to fill up that much. So let's get away from the heat here because the star is trying to cook us alive. And then I want to get a little bit out of the orbital plane so that hopefully the star doesn't block us as we're trying to scan things. So we've got some icy bodies here. Asteroids first. And then, oh, we just got the one icy body, which, you know, it's kind of pointless to look at. All right, next one. All right. M red heart. So hopefully now that I've applied the filter to the route, it has adjusted everything. I'm going to try to pay attention and make sure, because the last thing we want is to, like I've said 3 or 4 times now, I'm super paranoid about it now because we jumped once and we jumped back and we didn't have enough to jump again. So I'm really glad that I noticed that and I'm paying attention to it up front because that would have sucked. I'm not used to having to worry about my fuel, so it's just not natural for me to pay attention to it. Which means that the Super Cruise Overdrive option for this is also going to be, like, we're going to have to seriously consider whether we're going to use it or not, because it burns through fuel real fast. It burns through fuel extremely fast.
Fuel scooping complete.
Okay. So there's only 4 bodies in this system as well, and it looks like 3 of them are stars.
Frameshift drive.
What do we got here? Red dwarf again. Good. So, as pedantic and ridiculous as it is, I'm probably going to be looking at and saying out loud what the star is from now on, at least for this week. And anytime we're in one of these small ships with small fuel tanks, because yikes! I mean, we're using almost half of our fuel tank doing this. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. All right. Hopefully, this next system will have something interesting. The biggest benefit for us flying around one of these small ships is just the fact that it's small enough that we can land in hard to get into areas much easier than a medium or a large ship. So it would be really nice if we actually ran into some kind of terrain features that made using this ship a bonus rather than just, you know, a pain. Okay, I'm not really interested in icy bodies, but if we can find some high metal content worlds and maybe find some stratum tectonicus, that would be pretty sweet. So some geological. All right, looks like we got a bunch of asteroid stuff there. Another one of these, another geological, and that's it for that. So I don't generally bother too much with icy bodies because most of the time you're going to get 1 or 2 biological signatures, and almost all of the time it's going to be bacteria and fonticula, which are space mushrooms. So that's not really interesting to look at, and I don't really need money at this point. So I don't generally waste my time on icy bodies. Rocky bodies that have a bunch of different things on it, or I'm still willing to go out of my way for stratum tectonicus with first footfall. That's worth it. But for the most part, icy bodies are off the list unless I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting to bring up Observatory. I do have Elite Dangerous Observatory, or the ED Observatory. So let me finish the fuel scooping operation here. I'll load it up and get it monitoring because it does provide us with a little bit of additional information that you don't typically get from the actual scanning process. So, all right, hold on a second. I gotta bring up my start menu, go down to Elite Observatory. Let's get that started up, and then we can get it starting to monitor. Boom. Okay. So I wasn't really paying attention, so we'll hop into the spectrum systems, full spectrum system scanner. It's all icy bodies and a rocky ice world. So again, I'm not really gonna. Well, how many bodies was it? I already forgot. For 10, I'll look. We'll see. Maybe something interesting will pop up in the observatory. Because if we can get some super fast orbiting planets or something like that, that would be cool. That would be interesting to go. That would be interesting to go look at. So we'll do all that. Do that. Wait, what was that? Yeah, bacteria probably. Again, probably bacteria. Well, I don't know. With geological and with geological and biological, there is a chance that you get those fumoles or fucules or whatever it is, the ones that are stuck to the vents. Those can be pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and check that out. It's probably going to be bacteria, but it's at least worth going to. It's worth at least going to look at. It's not like we have anything else to do. So this is going to be one of those situations where, okay, I think it's close enough that we're not going to burn too much fuel doing this. 220. Yeah, we burned through an entire bar of fuel just doing that. So we got to be super careful with our fuel on this trip. Like, as much as I want to use the Super Cruise Overdrive, I don't know. I don't know if that's. I don't know if it's worth the risk. I mean, as long as we're always going to a fuel scoopable star, like as long as we don't end up going somewhere that I don't mean to go, if I don't space out and accidentally go to one, it'll be fine. Because, you know, at least we'll be in a system where I could go and refuel, and it won't let us jump if we don't have enough fuel, or we'll be jumping directly to a star that'll let us refuel. So, as long as I don't space out and accidentally go to a star that has that we can't scoop on, we can use the Super Cruise Overdrive fairly liberally. But if I forget and I space out and something stupid happens, and then we're in a system where we can't scoop the star, and I don't have enough, and we don't have enough to jump to another place because I used it all up in Super Cruise Overdrive. We gotta be super careful. All right, so we have, all right, so 7 probes. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll wait for that to come back. It's probably going to be bacteria, but if it's anything else, or if it's the fumules, or however it is that you say it, we'll head down and go check that out.
Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete.
So the only reason is just because I saw that it was also geological. So we'll go ahead and we'll go scan these guys, just because it's something interesting. It's something that we don't typically see very much. We have seen these before. I have scanned these on the channel, but we don't normally see them. So we might as well go and hang out. We're pretty far into this episode anyway, so we'll go get these scanned and then we'll call it a day. But for those of you who haven't seen these before, they can be kind of interesting to look at, especially if you get some of the really more interesting looking ones. All right. Getting this I was about to say, the resolution finally fixed itself, but I was getting this Marpat pattern, and it was like, what's going on with this? This digital camouflage style pattern.
Orbital flight engaged.
Alright, I'm trying to be very careful to make sure we don't slam into the atmosphere. You can waste a lot of time. You can waste a lot of time having to boost down to the planet if you're not paying attention. I think we've arrested our descent enough to that we're in control at this point. So ideally, especially once we get closer to 10 kilometers per second, I can max out the throttle to just hurry up and get that last couple of seconds of extra speed out of it, and still be able to drop into to the glide. Right. So we'll get down here, and for this one we will be looking for geysers, because the fumaroles actually are attached to the geysers, which is very cool. Just gotta try to make sure we don't slam into the ground, because even with the shields, they're very weak. They're very weak shields, so they're not going to really do that much. So we're looking for. Ooh. We're looking for geysers, basically. Ooh, I'm having a hard time making this. Like, I would think that this would be much more nimble than it feels. The problem with the I call it a heat map, but I've been told many times that it's not a heat map, but it's the only thing I can think of to call it. The problem with the little blue indicators of where things are is that it's only a chance of them being there, and you have to fly. Sometimes you have to fly around a bit before you actually find anything inside of those areas. It seems like the distribution was all up in these craggy areas, which isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world for this ship, but
Landing gear retracted.
it is meaning that we're having it's taking us forever to find anything because we didn't come down to the right spot. So we'll look around for another minute or so, and if we can't find anything, I'm just going to call it because I just finished a live stream. It's dinner time, and I'm hungry, and I don't really have the patience to search around for this for another 10 minutes or so. Alright. I think we just got unlucky with this one, and even though I landed in a place that was highlighted, we just weren't able to find what we were looking for. So, yeah. Yep, we're just going to go ahead and call it then. Hopefully you guys had fun. Be sure to click the like button if you did so the YouTube algorithm will know and send the video out to as many people as possible. If you are not a subscriber, please consider doing so now to help us reach that 10,000 subscriber mark. Join the channel as a member if you'd like early access to videos, among other perks. Or you can just leave YouTube's version of a tip with the thanks button. So again, thank you very much for joining us for this episode of Elite Dangerous. Be sure to come back for the next installment of our adventure here in the Imperial Eagle. And I'll see you then.